Imagine this, your brain, that incredible 3-pound universe sitting inside your skull, quietly munching away at itself. Sounds like something straight out of a horror film, doesn't it? But don't worry, this isn't some zombie apocalypse in your head. It's biology at its finest. In fact, this strange process of eating itself is exactly why you're able to think, learn, remember, and survive. You wouldn't even be you. Let us start with a wild fact. Your brain burns through about 1/3 of your body's energy every single day. It's a ridiculous amount for such a small organ. And because it's so energy hungry, it can't afford to lug around useless junk. So what does it do? Cleans house. Constantly. Old connections, broken pathways, unnecessary wiring. Gone. Your brain trims, recycles, and remodels itself every single day. That's what people mean when they say your brain eats itself. Now, how does this work? Enter two of the coolest characters you've probably never heard of: astrocytes and microglia. Astrocytes are these star-shaped cells that act like the janitors and chefs of your brain. They feed neurons, regulate blood flow, and sweep up the mess. Microglia, on the other hand, are like tiny immune soldiers. They patrol your brain, sniffing out trouble, gobbling up dead cells and useless synapses. Scientists call this phagocytosis, but honestly, it's easier to picture them as little Pac-Men cleaning up the board inside your head. Together, astrocytes and microglia make sure your neurons don't drown in clutter. They don't just clean, they sculpt. And here's the mind-bending part. This eating isn't just maintenance. It's how you become who you are. When you're born, your brain is overloaded with connections, trillions of them, way more than you'll ever use. As you grow, the brain prunes them, keeping only the strongest, most useful pathways. That's why kids can pick up languages so easily. Their brains are flooded with connections. But as they get older, the pruning makes the brain leaner and sharper. It's like carving a statue from marble. Without the cuts, without removing what's unnecessary, the masterpiece never appears. But there's a darker twist. Sometimes this pruning goes into overdrive. Take sleep deprivation. When you skip sleep, astrocytes and microglia just nibble at the broken stuff. They start chomping on healthy connections too. Researchers studying sleep-deprived mice found astrocytes literally munching away at perfectly good synapses. Microglia ramped up their activity like over-caffeinated janitors tossing out the furniture along with the trash. That's why pulling all-nighters leaves you foggy, forgetful, and slower. It's not just that you retired. It's that your brain has literally been snipping away at the wiring you need to think straight. And it doesn't stop there. Stress can push the cleanup crew into overdrive too. When you're stressed, your body releases cortisol. In small doses, cortisol sharpens you. But when it lingers, it changes how microglia behave. They go from calm patrollers to aggressive destroyers, gobbling up connections you actually need. Chronic stress has even been linked to shrinking of the hippocampus, the part of the brain responsible for memory. So when life feels overwhelming and you can't remember simple things, it might not just be distraction. It could be your brain literally eating the wrong stuff. Now, here's where things get exciting. This process of self-feeding, officially called autophagy, doesn't just protect you day to day. It may also hold the key to understanding diseases like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. In Alzheimer's, for example, overactive microglia may actually contribute to the destruction of healthy synapses, speeding up memory loss. It's like the janitors have gone rogue, tearing down the walls along with the garbage bags. But here's the hopeful part. Scientists are beginning to experiment with ways to control this process. Imagine being able to dial the cleanup crew up or down like a thermostat. Too much pruning? Lower the setting. Not enough? What? Turn it up. If we can figure out how to do that, we might be able to slow or even stop some of the most devastating brain diseases. And it's not just about disease. This balance between pruning and preserving might also be connected to creativity. Ever notice how the best ideas often come after sleep or a break? That's pruning in action. By clearing clutter, the brain makes space for new connections, the kind that lead to aha moments. Too little pruning, and your thoughts are chaotic. Too much, and your ideas never connect. Creativity may literally live in that sweet spot between chaos and order, maintained by the cleanup crew silently munching away. What blows my mind is that this process also reshapes our identity every single day. Think about it. If your brain is constantly discarding and reinforcing connections, then you're never the same person twice. Who you are right now is slightly different from who you were yesterday. Memories fade because connections weaken. Skills sharpen because pathways are reinforced. You are not a fixed being. You're a work in progress, sculpted every night as your brain decides what to keep and what to let go. That's not just science. That's philosophy made real inside your skull. Let's not forget about Einstein. When scientists studied his brain after his death, they found something unusual. Not necessarily more neurons, but more glial cells in certain regions. Remember, glial cells include those astrocytes and microglia. Some researchers believe this may have given his neurons extra support. Better cleanup, sharper pruning. Maybe Einstein's genius wasn't just about more brain power, but about a brain that was incredibly well maintained behind the scenes. It's a fascinating possibility that the secret to brilliance might not be in the neurons themselves, but in the hidden army cleaning up around them. Then there's the future. Right now, researchers are testing drugs that influence autophagy and microglial activity. Imagine a treatment that could nudge your brain to prune more effectively, boosting memory and focus, or therapies that slow down destructive pruning in Alzheimer's patients, preserving precious connections. Even wilder, imagine brain-computer interfaces that don't just read signals but actually guide the cleanup process, telling your microglia what to eat and what to leave alone. It sounds like science fiction, but so did heart transplants once. The idea that we might one day control our brain's appetite, isn't as far-fetched as it seems. But here's the best part. You, Dan T, need futuristic technology to influence your brain's self-feeding habits. You already hold the tools. Sleep is your brain's reset button, giving it time to prune wisely. Food is its fuel, and the quality of that fuel matters. Exercise isn't just for muscles. It pumps oxygen, reduces inflammation, and even encourages the growth of new neurons. Managing stress calms the overzealous microglia, keeping them from turning destructive. Every choice you make is a vote for how your brain eats itself. Are you giving it a balanced diet of rest, fuel, and calm? Or are you pushing it into reckless overdrive? At the end of the day, the truth is simple and beautiful. Your brain eats itself. But it does it to protect you, to sharpen you, to sculpt you into the best version of yourself. Without it, your mind would be a cluttered attic stuffed with junk. With it, you're a constantly evolving masterpiece. It's not horror, it's housekeeping. And it's happening right now, silently and visibly inside your head. So treat your brain well. Give it the sleep it craves, the fuel it needs, the space to breathe. Because the more wisely it eats, the sharper you'll be. The more resilient you'll feel, and the more brilliant your future self will become. That's the real superpower hidden in this strange truth. The brain eats itself, and that's exactly why you thrive.